Hello, Team Tsunami Worldwide and all of our partner teams. Welcome to our third installment of the Business Transformation Series. I just want to welcome Travis Hawkins, our second Team Tsunami leader and head trainer. So thank you, Travis, for being here today. I am Charles Andrade, your first Team Tsunami leader, and we're hoping that you're gaining a lot of valuable information about what we've taught so far. But really, the first 2 days has been to set the stage for today. And today, we're going to be talking about how to start building rapport with your prospects on Facebook. So if you ever wanted to get a copy of this slide, I always put it in the description field in the YouTube video itself, or you could just pause the video while I'm talking over this, and you can take a screenshot of this for your work. So I'll also be posting in the groups. So anyways, so Travis, please describe to everybody what we're talking about today and why it's so important.
Okay, guys, building rapport is the pretty much most vital thing you're going to do when talking to a prospect. We all know this business is built upon relationships, it's built on friendships, right? And so this rapport building stage is vital. This is where you're going to, more than likely, this is what's going to make or break you recruiting someone, right? Having someone join you. This is usually, not always, but a large portion of the time. Sometimes your offer is just so damn good they don't care, right? They just want it. But usually, if you want a long-term business partner, a long-term relationship with someone, you have to establish rapport with them, right? If you go to any sales training, the first thing they're going to teach you is build rapport, right? They have to know, like, and trust you before they're going to buy from you. And so this may actually be a two-part, like a two-day topic, because it is a little more in-depth, or can be a little more in-depth. We're going to build upon what we taught you yesterday on opening relationships, right? Because as soon as you, or conversations, once you've opened the conversation, your first step is build rapport, right? Sometimes the rapport stage will be short, because like I said, some people just, they want the info, what do you got, let me take a look at it, I'm in or I'm not, right? That's just the way some people are. You're going to meet different kinds of people when you're talking to 30 plus people a day, right? I actually had a really great conversation this morning with someone that's a perfect example of building rapport, okay? And so I'm going to actually share my screen here and just let you guys see this conversation I had. Can you see my screen, Charles?
I can.
Okay, so this person messaged me, looks like 9:06 this morning, right? They said, hey, how's it going? We're both entrepreneurs. I'm deeply passionate about helping other people become successful. Really like to connect with you, okay? Kind of a canned response, but nonetheless, I replied back, hey, thanks for the message. How's your day going? Okay, it's that simple, right? I told you guys, don't overcomplicate this stuff. Don't overthink this stuff. It is very, very simple. It's just having a conversation with someone, right? A lot of people like go straight to business because she already mentioned I'm deeply passionate about helping other people become successful. And you guys immediately go into, oh yeah, me too. Okay, don't do that, right? I just said, hey, thanks for the message. How's your day going? That simple. She said, how's yours? You know, she said, it's going good. How about yours? I said, it just started, right? I just got out of bed about 15 minutes ago, but I'm feeling it's going to be a really good day, right? And just connecting here, right? I went and I checked out her profile because remember, I'm always looking at people to see if they're a good prospect or not, right? And I saw that she is from Poland, okay? So I just made a comment on that. If we go to her profile, right, I'll show you guys the kinds of things I look at. One of the big things I look at, of course, is going to be like kind of what they're into, right? From what I can tell, looks like she's probably in Wake Up Now, cool. She now lives in Massachusetts, okay? I'm always looking at where they live, what kind of cover photo do they have, right? She has a great picture of herself up there. But I noticed that she's from a town in Poland, right? I know she's about 25 years old. She has this nicely filled out, right? So I'm just kind of looking at that. I'm finding something I can connect on, right? Building rapport. This is just building a friendship phase, right? So I said, hey, I saw on your profile that you're from a town in Poland, right? And she said, yeah, I am. I said, that's awesome. I haven't had the chance to visit Poland yet, but I hope to someday, right? And I saw that she now lives in Massachusetts. So my next kind of thing was like, how'd you end up moving from Poland to the U.S., right? Like, I'm just talking back and forth. Like, that's kind of a cool thing. Like, why would someone move halfway across the world, right? And she said, my dad's family lives here, so we all moved here about 9 years ago, right? Now, if I know she's 25, that means she'd have been 16 or 17 when she moved. So she was probably in high school. So I imagine that kind of like was a big impactful thing, right? Because when we're in high school, we have all our friends and this and that. We don't want to like leave them, right? So I said, that's cool. Was that like a really hard move, or were you like kind of happy about it, right? Because who knows what her situation in Poland was? It might have been, really crummy. She might be like, yeah, I was so happy to get out of there, right? She just said, I wasn't happy to leave my friends. Where do you live? Right? I said, yeah, I bet you weren't. I'm sure you've made new ones now. Right? I said, I live in Louisville, Kentucky. I've lived here my whole life. I took some time after graduating high school to travel. I pretty much traveled the whole country for a couple of years. I'm tired of that, so I moved back here, right? Most of you know I have my hypnosis stuff. I did stage shows, and I did like a tour around the country for a good while. She said, that's cool. I love to travel. I said, yeah, me too. After doing it for a couple of years, like nonstop, though, it was kind of like time to take a break. And now I just take a trip somewhere every couple of weeks, right? So we're just building rapport here. And then you'll see here, she said, that's awesome. And then she took it to business, right? She said, what do you do? Do you work from home? So the rapport building stage is not that long, okay? And we'll go into like how I respond to those kinds of things later, because it's kind of like more than just building rapport. But hopefully you guys can kind of see that. I'll stop sharing my screen now. That's it, right? I just take a look at their profile and I find what can I connect on, and I just build the relationship there, right? I want to know more about her. Like most of the other network marketers she talks to, they probably just pitch the business, right? She probably has like a really cool story that I just want to try and dig and find out, like, who are you? What are you about? What's your past been like, right? That's all I'm doing is building a friendship. You'll see there I didn't do like a whole lot of business stuff. My very first thing was like, hey, thanks for the message. How's your day going? That's it. She says, it's going good. How about yours? Right? That's like normal interaction, right? Like when I hop on these hangouts every morning, Charles says, hey, man, how you doing? Right? That's normal conversation, right? That's what friends do. And when you're talking to your prospects, you want to talk to them like they're a friend who you've known for a while, right? Like you want to have that kind of like friendly demeanor about you, right? You wouldn't go up to your friend and just like throw a link in their face and that kind of thing, She said, how's your day going? I said, you know what? I just got up about 15 minutes ago, but I'm feeling pretty good. It's probably going to be a good day, right? I check out her profile. I gotta find out what she's into, what she's about, and I'm gonna find something to comment on there. Okay? I'm always asking questions. Pretty much every message I send, I'm asking questions, right? So that's an important thing. Whoever asks questions leads the conversation. Asking questions, I do it in pretty much everything I reply to. I'm always replying back with a question, because I like to be the one in control of the conversation, okay? But yeah, that's building rapport. It's just connecting with someone, right? Like I saw she was like from Poland. I'm like, that's kind of cool. I've never been to Poland, right? I could have dug in more there, like, hey, what's it like in Poland? I've never been there. I don't know too much about it, right? Could have asked her about that. Instead, I was like, hey, she now lives in the U.S. Like, why did she move? I'm curious, right? I just become curious about people, and I just ask questions. And that's it. You're just getting to know that person. Like, okay, another great example is when Julian messaged me for the very first time. Pull up some of his messages. I'm just giving you guys examples of, like, I think it's great to be able to show you conversations, right? So you can kind of really see it. We're not just talking theory. We're not just talking this or that. You can actually see how the conversation goes, right? I think that's really useful. But yeah, when Julian messaged me, a lot of you guys are probably hearing his name a bit. He's an amazing, just amazing guy that I brought into our team and ad experts. And let's I connected on almost the same kind of stuff. I'm gonna share my screen again with you guys. I'm just gonna show you a little bit here. I'm pretty sure Julian won't mind. Can you see my screen, Charles?
Yes, I can.
Okay,
Perfectly.
cool. So you'll see Julian messaged me back on August 16. Is that August 8, 16? He said, hey, Travis, I stumbled across your YouTube. I'm quite impressed with the stuff you post. right? I said, hey man, thanks for the message. I'm glad you like my videos, and I found them of value. I got a ton more ready to shoot. I've been on vacation, kind of taking a break from the videos for like a couple of weeks, right? I see you live in Singapore. Okay, I clicked on his profile and saw that he lived in Singapore, right? So I'm just kind of connecting. I connect on where people live a lot if they live somewhere that I think is pretty interesting. Like, that's awesome. My best friend, when growing up, was from there. Okay, I had a best friend named Josh, and Josh was from Singapore, right? Like, we took a trip there together when we graduated high school, right? Really wonderful place. We did take a trip over there for like a week or something. I asked him, so have you lived there your entire life, right? He said, I spent some time in Sydney, Australia, in Bangkok, Thailand, playing the tennis circuit. Might want to move to the U.S. as soon as I sell my apartment, though. Loved it in Denver and San Francisco last month. Did you take some NLP training previously? Right? He asked me, that's it. We're just asking a question. We're just connecting here. Like, hey, man, so you live in Singapore. Have you always lived in Singapore? Right? I told him a little bit about me. I opened up, said, hey, my best friend was from there. You know, we took a trip over there after graduating high school. Just kind of connecting, right? He said he played the tennis circuit. I'm like, that's awesome, right? I love tennis. Been playing for a couple of years, nothing too serious. Don't really have enough time to practice, you know, as much as I should to be able to compete and all that. We talked about San Francisco. I've been to San Francisco a lot, right? One of my best friends is from San Francisco. Nice place, kind of small, but it's awesome. Got a friend who lives out there. I fly out there every couple of months to hang out with him, right? He asked me about NLP. He'd probably seen some of my other videos that are kind of NLP based, right? Said, yeah, I have a ton of NLP training. I'm actually a professional hypnotist by trade. Use a lot of NLP in my work. What makes you ask? Right? Was asking him a question like, hey, what makes you ask? Do you have an interest in NLP? Said, yeah, I've had some formal training. You see, he and I go back and forth for like a good while, right? I talked to him on August 16th. He just joined us like this month in Ad Experts, right? So that's almost, you know, over a month and a half of talking to each other. But you guys get the idea here. We're just connecting. We're just talking, right? Like, cool, you live in Singapore. Cool, you play tennis. I love tennis. I wish I had time to play more. I do, actually. I can play tennis all day long, right? He asked me about NLP, right? And you can tell Julian's a really good guy. He knows what he's doing as well because he's asking me intelligent questions as well, right? Like, that's a sign that Julian's a leader for me. Like, he's asking really good questions back. He's building rapport with me. That lets me know, okay, this is a guy who knows what he's doing, right? And then I kind of got to know Julian more and watched some of his YouTube videos and stuff. And I was like, damn, this guy's amazing, right? So hopefully you guys get the idea of just building rapport is just establishing a friendship, right? Don't go into business right away. You'll have some people that move to it kind of quick, cool, whatever, but you want to do your best to establish rapport in the beginning, right? And even sometimes when people take it to business, if they take it to business too quick, I'll actually just keep building rapport because whoever asks questions leads the conversation. So that's if they ask, what do you do? I go, I'm a network marketing professional, right? So what was it like living in Thailand or Poland or whatever, right? I just take it right back to building rapport, right? Because I'm not ready to move it to business yet. I don't feel that enough rapport has been established, right? So if I ask the questions, I'm leading that. They're going to answer my question. And now business will be in there because they go, oh, that's cool. How long have you been in network marketing? I've, you know, living in Poland was really, really cool. I didn't want to leave, right? So there's still a little bit of rapport building in there going on while we're talking business. Constantly building rapport, okay? Hopefully that gives you guys a brief overview of rapport. Rapport is just establishing a friendship, right? Look at their profile, see what they're into. You know, most times people will have movies on there. They'll have books on there. They'll have, you know, you can see mutual friends. You can do something on that. Like, hey, I see you're mutual friends with this guy. He and I are really, really close. We actually work together in the same team. How do you two know each other, right? He's going to tell you, right? Mutual friends, sometimes that can be like a point of connection to sort of start the rapport building phase, right? Just building a friendship, guys. Just look at their profile. What are they into? Get to know the person. Don't be afraid to open up to them, right? You tell people, hey, I traveled, I did this, I did that, right? I'm opening up just as much of myself. I'm like completely open when people talk to me. I'll totally honest, totally straight. I don't care, right? You can ask me anything, I'm going to answer it probably. Just be open. Don't be afraid to share yourself because when you do that, then you're not just a network marketer trying to pitch them and get them in your business, right? Oh, this is a real human being. They're asking me questions that most people don't ask me, right? Most people don't ask me, hey, what was it like to live in Poland? And when I moved over here, why did I move over here? What was that like? What was that a effect on my life, Like, they don't get to talk about that stuff with most people, right? And sometimes you can find really cool little hot buttons that you can tell a person's really passionate about. And I'll just keep talking on about that because people love to talk about the things they're interested in. They love to talk about themselves. They love to talk about, the things they're passionate about. So when you can connect on those points, people are going to like you, right? They just are. They're going to like you. And when you're being open, they get to know you. Like I said earlier, they have to know, like, and trust you. So they're getting to know you. If you're friendly, you're asking them questions about themselves, about their life, about their dreams, their passions, they're going to like you. So now they know you, they like you, and the trust and credibility starts to come in as you talk about business a little bit more, right? But if you're kind of an open person, if you're an honest person, a genuine person, people can tell that. They're going to start to trust you. You're like, okay, this guy's not just going to try to pitch me into some kind of crap, right? So hopefully that gives you guys a breakdown, sort of just what rapport is. Rapport is just establishing a connection with someone or friendship with someone, and then how to build it is just by opening yourself up to them and having them open themselves up to you, right? On things that aren't business, right? If they have kids, talk about kids, right? If they're married, if they just got married, like, oh, hey, I was going through your profile, I saw that you just got married. Congratulations, right? How long were you two engaged, or how long have you two known each other before you got married, right? Because if they just got married, they're probably pretty damn excited about it, right? Most married couples that get married, they're excited about it for a good while at least. and so you can talk about that, but man, you know what? I did just get married. It was awesome. The wedding was beautiful. I got the best woman in the world, right? That's way, way better than just going like, hey, I see you're a network marketer. What do you promote? That's like not cool. You know what I mean? Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Charles, I don't know if you have anything that you want to add in there on that.
Okay, well, that was a really great illustration of how you could actually start talking to someone and move them from an opening conversation mode to actually developing a real relationship. Most people online go direct into business. They're all about pitching because they think that if they get quantity, if they contact more people, they're going to get better results. And although we do tell you to contact 10 new people at the top of every hour, it's very critical that you determine, and this is exactly what I do, out of those 10 people, I try to determine as quickly as possible which area those 10 people fall into. Are they looking for something? Are they a leader or are they not a leader? Are they completely new to internet marketing and or Facebook and technology? And then I really go into where they're coming from, and you find that by extracting information from them and by looking at their profile. But even before that, I want to talk about the psychology of creating rapport. So what I'd like to do before I even go into the mode of contacting people is I will have a very, very clear idea of what I am looking for before I start contacting people. Because it really comes down to this. If you do not know what your end game is, how are you ever going to achieve it? So, for example, sometimes I will go out prospecting specifically for the idea of finding leaders and trying to build rapport with them. Sometimes I'll go specifically into finding new prospects for ad experts. Sometimes I'll specifically go to find parents that work from home or parents that are working home parents that are looking for a way to even make additional $100 a month. To really have a very clear idea of who you are trying to target each time and change it up. We offer you the ability to be able to target people in so many different ways, which is just going to increase your learning curve that much faster. So the other thing I do before I really think about what I'm trying to gain by contacting these new people is I will make sure I already have a 2-minute story of where I'm coming from, what my thing is about, etc., etc. Make it as short and as crisp as possible. And I will do kind of the same thing that Travis does, and I'll talk about tennis and trips to Thailand and why did you move from Poland. But one thing that I've learned how to do is I will sneak in something that is really cool about what we're working on in the conversation. So we'll never be direct. I'll never go, hey, come join my program. It's $7. We're getting 1 million people. will never be like that. I'll be like, yeah, when I was in Thailand, I met up with, one of my coworkers, and we were building this wicked team of 7,500 people. All right, so I'll go like an indirect way just to show them, look, I'm serious about building business. I'm not just a novice online, and you need to find what is good for you to do in that response. And if you've had very limited success online so far, one of the things that's your biggest selling point, actually you have two major selling points. One, you're attached to a team that offers all this amazing value. So it's like, yeah, when I talk to my team almost every day, and it's crazy the story is we have so many people from Poland that are actually coming to the States. Or something like that. I'll feed it in to the conversation in that kind of way so that people will still talk about moving from Poland to the United States, but they'll get a grasp on where you're coming from, who you're working with, and what are your basically major strengths. Okay? So this, from the psychological point of view, this is a really good way to kind of like embed our main advantages as you talk with them over time. And you'll find that leaders from other companies, they do this all the time. So sometimes people are very, forward or arrogant, etc., and that's fine. That's just the way they are. But in general, seasoned leaders, and we will be talking about this in week 10, but I'm just mentioning this is something to keep an eye out for. Seasoned veterans will do exactly what Travis did when they have time, and they'll talk to you, and they'll make you feel comfortable, even throwing a few jokes, but they'll make sure that they put something embedded within those messages that really sells who they are or why their business is so awesome. And don't do a huge long spiel. Don't do a huge long thing. Just highlight it really quick. I mean, when you talk about what we really have to offer, it's not hard to figure out a way to weave it into the conversation. The other thing that is really important to note, we are talking about you contacting 30 people per day, right, or more. So you can have the kind of conversation, in-depth relationship build that Travis showed you there, but it's hard, I would say, to do that one at a time with 30 people. So make sure you're talking to multiple people at the same time. And I would even say this, although we will be teaching you other things like YouTube channel stuff and website and all that kind of stuff down the road, it's very critical while you are learning how to build rapport that you set aside an hour at least every single day that focuses just on talking to these multiple people at the same time. And what you're going to gain from talking to, say, for example, those 10 people is you're going to see how people respond to you. You're going to see the kind of people that actually start having a conversation with you, and therefore you're going to learn over time who you should be targeting more so than others. And it isn't just finding out if their Facebook profile is completely, clean and if they're very active on it, but there's additional, more advanced levels to that to really find out if there's someone that they're worthy to work with. For example, if they're posting on their wall every day, and sometimes they post some things about business and sometimes they keep some things personal and more funny, that's really good. But if they are offering value to a group of people that you don't even know yet, in some business that you don't even know what it's about, then that's definitely a green flag. That's a yes. You want to definitely spend more time getting to know that person if they're relating to you, if they're coming back to you. Do not force a conversation. You're going to be talking to so many people that you shouldn't even be doing that. But I will tell you one thing. If they are someone that is extremely worthy, if they don't get back to you right away, that sometimes is a very good sign because it means that they're very busy and they're working on stuff. Sometimes you get lucky and you'll talk to someone that is extremely good and they'll get back to you. But I would say that if you know someone has really good potential, I would message them more than once, but I would split it out by a couple of days. So I wouldn't message them 5 times in a day. I get people sometimes sending me 17 messages in a row and I haven't even responded. Don't do that because it shows desperation and it shows you have way too much time in your hands. You want to create the air of being someone that's looking to network, but is still working on things to help their team, to help their downline grow, that's participating in the community. So you want to show, actually you don't want to just show it, you actually want to be that person. That shows value. So exactly what I'm telling you to look for is kind of taking your Facebook persona and your involvement in Team Tsunami to the next level. If you do those things, that's why we're always asking for more leaders. And you notice only 19 people stepped up to the plate. Those people are the people that participate in the comment sections. Those are the people that are starting to gain the skills by doing that to really get to the next level so that they start to attract the leaders. Travis didn't randomly attract Julian. He did it because he started small, just like we're teaching you. Clean up your Facebook profile, learn how to make a YouTube video, and then he gained the confidence and the skill set required to be able to train people based on what he learned. That didn't just come out of thin air. He read the books. He followed training series like this. So it's two-sided. You want to find people that are exactly like that are doing that, that are trying to, spend the time to become a better person, and then you want to also do that for yourself. And automatically, as you start to attract these people by going into conversations thinking like this, and I know it sounds like mindset, but I'm talking about the psychological preferential treatment you're going to give yourself and other people as you find them. That's what's important here. There could be an element of energy to it as well. I mean, I really do think that does exist as well, but let's just talk about the science behind it. If you know what you're going after, and you can separate these people very quickly into certain groups, you're going to know who naturally to focus on over time. And that's an acquired skill. Don't worry about screwing that up in the beginning. Sometimes you're going to waste a lot of time with someone that doesn't lead anywhere. But the best thing about that is you're probably not going to be making those mistakes anymore in the future. So I would say building rapport is a massive topic, and it's a process. And no one gets it right unless you're some natural genius at networking the first week. I mean, we're still developing those skill sets. There's people that are master salespeople at like 60, and they're still learning new things, right? So, I mean, Travis touched on this a lot. Building like and trust is very important. One of the weaknesses of working online is that you don't get that face-to-face connection, so the body language may not exist. You may not be able to look into someone's eyes, all those kinds of things. So building like and trust online, I actually do a different way. And it depends on the person I'm talking to. If I'm talking to someone that's extremely forward and they're talking a lot, I immediately go into jokes. And I'll go back and forth and see how they relate to it. It really depends. See, this is why there's so many nuances involved in building a rapport. I will say that depending on their age, where they live in the world, their ability to grasp and use technology, I will speak to people in different ways. But here is a very key point. Just because someone is not good at the technology doesn't mean that they don't have incredible life experience and really strong life skills. And more importantly, it doesn't mean that they have access to huge networks offline. A lot of people have been network marketing since 1960, and they know their stuff, and they have access to these huge teams. They've developed relationships over decades, but they may be horrible at typing. So when you're talking to them on Facebook, you might think they're a complete idiot, pardon the word, but they're not. They're just new to Facebook, and they're coming online because they're kids, and said it's a really good thing to do for networking. So bear that in mind, that as you triage these 10 people per hour into different categories, understand that you may put them in the wrong spot to start. It can move people around. So I really try to do this in my mind, but you could actually write this down if you want. I try to make it as easy and fun as possible for myself. But the people that really you relate to, the people that there could be a really strong relationship with in the future, are generally people that you need to spend time with as the days and weeks progress. It's very rare if someone approached me and said, hey, how's it going? And then even if you talk for half an hour and then they pitched me, the chances of me saying yes to whatever they're working on is pretty much close to zero. It's almost absolutely zero. But if we talk and build a relationship, and I know they're going to go off and do amazing things, and I know we as a team are going to go create amazing things, then what you're doing is you're building a network outside of Team Tsunami that's going to only deliver amazing things for you and the entire team in the future. So it's really important to keep this in mind, that some people are going to jump in right away. So those are the people that haven't really had much success online. And you can ask them. You can ask them in a very polite way. I mean, that's what Travis said is exactly correct. asking them questions in a way that builds like and trust is really important. So you want to get information out of them, but you also want to offer enough information where they feel that you're giving back to the conversation, right? So it's like, if again, it depends on who you're talking to and where they're coming from. If, for example, I have done a lot of the people in for Team Tsunami from another network that I worked with in the United States, where I would say most of the people are Americans that have never really made money online. They've lost their job and they're trying to figure out a way to make money. So those people I wouldn't go and talk to ad experts about. I wouldn't mention Explosial. I would definitely target the Penny Matrix side. And because it's a $7 program, and I know they may not have had success online, I'll put them into the category, look, this is a green light. I can mention why it would be interesting to try to work with our Penny Matrix program. And I would kind of push that envelope a little bit faster. If I'm working with someone, for example, that's the leader or the administrator of a group of 5,000 people, then that would be someone that I would not even mention any of our programs until I knew that we were talking on Skype or phone call, and they knew exactly where I was coming from. And if you don't pitch your business to someone that also thinks on that level and has paid their dues, then they know that you are also like them. And you're going to have more respect built between you, and that's only going to lead to better business results. If you guess right and you put these people into the right categories, they're going to relate to you in a better way. So one category is you're going to talk to people that are established. One category is you're going to talk to people that have not had success online. And then I would go into other categories, like I might even divide it between people that are good with technology and people that are not, because that will really decide on how you are going to speak with them on a long-term basis. Some people only like to talk over the phone. They don't even have Skype. I would say for the most part, people that do talk online that just have email also have Skype. And then people that are better with technology will have Google Hangout, and they'll be able to talk other means through Zoom or some other programs that we use. All right, so I'd say the basic side is email and Skype, and those people, keep in the back of your mind, may have access to massive networks because generally they will be older. Not in all cases, but in most cases. And then people that are younger, people that are better with technology would be really good people to be able to spread the word very quickly online, but may not be as established and probably, based on the percentages, have never really made a lot of money online. All right, so those are kind of like 4 categories that I work with. There's probably a lot more, and we're going to go into those more tomorrow, I'd say. I think we could probably talk about this a lot longer. I'm going to let Travis add in his thoughts about what I just said. So please go ahead.
Some of you may be thinking, what if I get it wrong? What if I put them in the wrong category? What if I this, that, the other? Let me tell you something. If you just follow your sort of, this is going to sound kind of new agey, I know, but if you kind of follow your intuition, your innate intuition, you're just gonna know, okay? You are I find a lot of people, their hang up really, okay, and this is even in hypnosis and this and that, is we overthink stuff so much, right? Like we think about it way, way too much, right? If you just, as humans, we have all the resources in us, right? We can already do these things innately. We already do it without even thinking about it, right? We even if we meet someone offline, we're kind of summing them up and kind of categorizing like the kind of person they may be, the kind of things they may do, the kind of categories they may fit into in our life, okay? So you can have these things sort of back of mind. I really suggest, watch this stuff, listen to this stuff, learn this stuff, but don't really think about it too much, you know what I mean? You'll have people that you can just tell, okay, this guy is a leader, he knows what he's doing. You'll be able to tell this person, okay, this person maybe not so good with technology, okay? You'll just know. You don't really need to think about it too much. You'll just kind of know. And you'll kind of, as you get to know them and ask questions about them, you'll get to learn more about them. That's why I say asking questions is one of the most important skills you'll ever learn in rapport building and closing sales and handling objections, right? It's all about asking questions because information about a person is vital, right? So even if, like Charles said, maybe they're not the best person online, they may be an older person who just doesn't have a lot of experience online. However, they could have a huge network offline, right? So never disqualify someone as right away. Never sort of push people aside. The people that are really worth your time, you're going to work with, that want to work with you, that resonate with you, you're just going to be naturally attracted to anyway, right? Like when Julian and I met, he was someone that we just really connected, right? He's sort of like a Eastern version of me a little bit, right? We just kind of connected that way. And then there are other people I talk to and we just don't, and they just kind of fall off, right? And that's going to happen. You're going to have some people that they just fall off, right? Don't worry about that. Just keep going through your people. You are going to have people that naturally just trust your intuition, just trust yourself, right? And just don't think about, oh, okay, they said that. I get a lot of people that go, how would you respond to this question? And it's like something really, really simple, right? I'm like, I would just answer the question. You know what I mean? We're just building rapport here. We're just having a friendship. Like, if someone asked you that offline, what would you say, right? Like, if your best friend asked you that question, how would you answer it? Just answer it like that. Like, you're thinking about it too much, right? Just trust your intuition. Just be you. Just be yourself. And I know that is like put out there all the time so much. And I know like still people worry about, well, if I say the wrong thing, what if I do this? What if I do that? Okay. It is a process. You're going to learn it over time. You're going to screw up in the beginning. Okay. You're going to, but it's human nature to learn, right? And you're going to, okay, I screwed up there. And going forward, you're probably not going to make that mistake again. As Charles said, you may categorize some people wrong, right? Your intuition may be a little off, and you may be, oh, I put that person wrong. But I guarantee you'll probably hardly ever make that mistake ever again, right? Because your intuition's adjusted now, right? Intuition's sort of a skill in and of itself. And when you've built up intuition to a point, you don't really have to think about stuff anymore, right? I can talk to someone, and within 5 or 6 messages, I can know most everything about them because I've been doing this so long, right? Because I've talked to thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people, both online and offline. I can tell right away, okay, this person is generally this kind of person. This is probably their strengths. This is probably their weaknesses. And you're going to get that skill too, okay? But do not worry about it. Don't overthink things. Don't overcomplicate things. Don't worry about screwing up. You're going to screw up, I promise. You're absolutely going to screw up. It's not the end of the world, right? Things are going to go on. Okay, you screwed up with one person today. Cool, you got 29 more people to go, right? Like, it doesn't matter. Just keep going, right? Hopefully that kind of makes sense. I know it's kind of a new agey kind of sounding thing, but I'll tell you when I had one of my big breakthroughs was when I just stopped kind of like, I was on this, when I first started in this, I was like this, I need to know absolutely everything about everything, and I was learning this, and I was learning that, and this and that, and this and that. It was like so much crap, and it just like, I was like that, guys. I was like, oh shit, what do I say? Excuse the language, sorry. What do I say when they reply like this? What do I say? And eventually, you know what? I just said screw it, and I just sat back and just started chatting with people. I just started talking, just whatever, right? Like there are people I talk to all the time. When I started doing that, that's when I started having success, right? And the things I was learning just started happening automatically, right? That's the way we learn. We learn, it gets in, and then it just comes out, right? Hopefully that kind of makes a little bit of sense to you guys. Basically what I'm saying is don't worry about it. Trust yourself, trust your instincts, and things will be just fine, okay? You're going to screw up. Don't worry about it. You may screw up 2-3 times. Don't worry about it. You'll innately learn from those mistakes, and you'll learn how to do this pretty much without thinking about it. It will become what we call unconscious competence. It means you don't have to think about it anymore, and you're competent, right? So don't put too much thought on it. Just go, okay, they asked me this question. Instead of going, I must reply exactly the perfect way to do this. Don't think about that, right? Someone asks, hey, how's your day going? It's a simple question, right? Just answer the question. I had someone actually ask me the other day. Someone asked me how my day's going. How should I respond? I don't know. How's your day going, right? if you're having a great day, tell them. If you're having kind of crummy day, go, wow, my day's, my little girl today got in trouble at school. I had to go pick her up. I couldn't believe she did this, she did that, right? That's building rapport. Just like be friends with people. If your best friend called you up and said, hey, how's your day going? You'd be like, if your little girl got in trouble at school that day, man, I can't believe it. Emily went to school today. She smacked this kid upside the head, and I had to go pick her up. Right? You can share that kind of stuff with people. Just trust your intuition. Things will come out just fine. Charles, I don't know if you have anything to add on that, or if we kind of want to wrap it up to today. I don't want to go on too long today.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to really think about what we talked about today. So really go in with the right intention of exactly what you're looking for. When you open the conversation, you know how to do that from yesterday. Make sure you keep it friendly. Make sure you actually listen to what they say when you ask questions, so that you can let them know that, look, I'm very interested in what you're saying, and then you're going to put them into categories. Either people that you can pitch right away because they're not really advanced internet marketers. New people, I think you can pitch closer to the beginning, and that way you can show them, look, I can lead you. I can show you how to find success online, versus people that are more experienced, more seasoned veterans that you need to spend the time working with over time. I think tomorrow what Travis and I are going to talk about is more advanced rapport building, and I want to go into how to handle objections. And I want to really go into this topic. I know everyone faces this. Only people online face this. Never in the real world do you go up to someone and say, hi, come take a look at Team Tsunami Worldwide, and they turn around, actually, why don't you come take a look at my business in the span of 1 minute? That happens all the time online. So tomorrow we're going to go into how to deal with it when someone is trying to push their business down your throat, and what you can say to them to reverse market them and get the sale. Okay? So thank you very much. Make sure that every one of you has cleaned up your Facebook profile now. Make sure you're each contacting a minimum of 10 people at the top of every hour. So it should only take you less than 5 minutes to contact 10 people at the top of every hour, and then make sure you're doing 30 people per day. And out of those 30 people, you're going to spend an hour really working on opening the conversation and building a relationship with these people. Make sure that they know who you are and why Team Tsunami is awesome, but don't talk about the business side. Talk about how much value you can offer to them, and we're going to go actually into those topics tomorrow. So thank you. Thanks, Travis, for being here, and take care, everybody. Go enjoy your day. Take care. Bye-bye.